Angel. Welcome. Guys, can you hear me? I just want to make sure that my audio is working. Somebody tell me if you can hear me. Hi guys, I just want to make sure my audio is working. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm going to give everyone a couple more minutes to get on. Hi, who just said hi?
I did, Chelsea.
Oh, hi, Chelsea. We're just giving everyone a few more minutes, okay?
Okay. You want to say hi? I got Tapio with me.
Oh, hi. Oh, so cute. Look at those ears.
Hi. He's been like all over me all day. He was doing work.
Sure, now he's going to be mad when you go back to school finally.
Yeah, I don't want to leave him.
I don't think we're going back to school.
I don't think so this year either. We don't know. I'm hoping they'll at least do something for you guys to like graduate.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of sad because I didn't go through 3 years of middle school to not have a graduation.
I know.
But it's like we always have other things. Like we also have other things.
Yeah,
like,
you guys at least aren't missing your prom and your high school graduation, so this is a little bit better. But it still stinks.
Yeah.
This should be your first like real graduation, even though you guys start graduating from like preschool.
I'm gonna say we're not gonna have a high school graduation because every year I'm supposed to graduate, it never happens.
Really?
Yeah, my elementary school graduation, I moved because Long Branch, you do it in 5th grade, but I moved to Ocean at the end of 4th.
So you missed 4th.
Yeah.
Aww.
I only go to preschool, so.
All right, we'll say 4 years. We're gonna say.
Honestly, I just think it's my graduation month.
And then you have college too, so hopefully at least one of them you'll.
Honestly.
All right, let's see. Waiting for one more student that said they were going to join. Let's see. Angel, how have you been? I haven't seen anything from you in a while. You laying low? Not going to answer? Just so you guys know, if you keep yourself on mute, I don't know if you know, if you hold down the space bar, you can talk and then let it go and it puts you right back on mute. So if anyone wants to participate really quick for any time, you are welcome to. All right. All right, I guess I'm going to get started. I don't see any more people popping up. All right, so first, once you open the website, did you guys all open up the doc that's right here? Did everybody find that? Did anybody not understand? So this document is where you would write down the codes.
Miss Edson.
Yes?
I'm trying to make a copy of the the Google Drawing doc.
Yeah.
Like when you just clicked on it, saying it's not working.
Okay, you don't even need it. You really can just write, like, take a piece of paper and write it out if you want to.
Okay.
And each one has 4 or 5 questions. So if you just kind of set it up like this, you have silver, copper, gold, purple, red, and blue, and then just do like 1 through 4 or 1 through 5 for the gold key. And then you make a mistake. All right, so well, does anybody have any specific questions that I can answer so you don't have to stay on for the whole time?
I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I went on to the other ones besides the like crossword,
Yeah.
for the like the last page, I don't understand how you like get the key.
Okay, so is that your only question, Eve, or are you lost with all of it?
That's pretty much my only question.
Okay, so I'm going to show you right now. So we're going to do silver because it's a little bit more complicated. So
Okay.
you guys are getting confused because I've been getting a lot of questions on how to use the Morse code for all the other keys, but the Morse code is only for the silver key, which is why it's been put here with the silver key. So I'm going to open up the silver key. I'm going to give you guys the answers. I'm just going to show you how to do it. All right.
Okay.
So I still want you guys to figure out the answers on your own. So the first slide just tells you that it's what key it is. Let's move you guys down a little bit. All right. Going a little too fast. All right. So the first question, as the wavelength increases, the frequency increases, decreases, stays the same, or increases, then decreases. So let's pretend that the answer is increases, because it's the first one. All right. So if it's H,
Okay.
then you would write that down either like on a piece of paper, or it would be your question number 1 would be H. We all understand that? All right, so then the matching digit, let's pretend we answered all the other questions. The matching digit would go along with Morse code. So we have to figure out which one of these is H. So I'm going to go back to my escape room. I'm going to close some of these things out so I don't get confused. And H is a dot, 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 dot. So here, you see that, oh, sorry, your faces are in my way. All right, so dot, 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 dot is not on here, which is telling me right away that the answer was not H. Does that make sense?
Miss Edson?
Yep.
So like for the second question, I got E, and then like when I would go on the Morse code, it has a dot, but then the next to it only has like 5 dots.
Okay, so
and it's supposed to have 6.
well, let's go back. I think I actually got confused on that one too. I think you might be right. Let me go back. Which one, number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's actually answer number 2 with a correct answer. So which wave interact? Faces are in the way. Sorry. Which wave interaction explains why sound waves can be heard around corners? So is it diffraction, transmission, interference, or absorption? What'd you guys get?
I said diffraction.
Diffraction.
So it is diffraction. Diffraction is when it bends around the corners. So the answer is E. And I'm not clicked on it, sorry. All right, so E. I think this one, because I did copy it from someone, I did find a few mistakes that I think I corrected everything, but this one I couldn't correct because it was an image. So E is 1 dot. So we're looking here. So we have the 1 dot. So that's our letter. And then it's going to go with a dash. I can't pull it up. Sorry. So dash, 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 dash. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dashes. Or was it 6 dashes?
There used to be 6, but there isn't any.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 5 dashes here would be 0. You see that?
Yeah.
All right, so E, so that one's not wrong. So E, the digit number for E, so the second answer to your silver key is 0.
Oh, okay. Because like on the slideshow, it shows you that there's 6 dashes.
Oh, okay. So it's 6 dash. Yeah, it's being blocked by your faces, so I can't see the 6th one. So yeah, that's the typo. I knew there was one in there. I think that's the only one that is like a typo that the other person did.
Yeah, and I noticed that too, Miss Edson.
Okay. Yeah. So the answer is 0. All right. So do we kind of understand how the silver key works?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have
Could we
questions on
try
this?
question 3 too? Because I think I got D, and I don't think that's on there.
Okay. Hold on. Let me go back. For number 3.
Yeah.
All right. So which model accurately depicts constructive? So constructive, that was one of your, what's it called? The WebQuest ones, but you had to kind of read a little bit more into it to understand what constructive was and destructive. So constructive would be kind of like if you're constructing something, it's adding to it. So the waves would be going at the same frequencies, and when they overlap, it gets bigger. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're looking for one that the final wavelength, now all of it on my screen is cut off. The wavelengths would look the same, going like the same and not opposite. So like the first one here, see how they're opposite? So if they overlap, it would end up being a straight line, right? So this can't be it because we're not constructing, we're destructing the wave. We're taking it apart, we're not constructing it. This and this would not equal this. So this bottom one would not be equal. It's kind of hard for me to see the pictures here. Let me see if I can just move you. Oh, there we go. Okay, so these two waves, because they're opposites, when they're put together, they would cancel each other out. But these two waves, when they're put together, we can see that the wave height to amplitude just gets higher, but it's still going with the same frequency. Do we see that? So the answer would be L. Did you get L?
Oh, it's L. I picked D. That's why.
Yeah, so L, and then when we go here, L is dot, dash, dot, dot.
Mm-hmm.
So we're down here. So dot, dash, dot, dot. So your code for number 3 would be dot, 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 dot. So 4 dots and a dash. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots and a dash, which would be number 4. So your code would be.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to get out of silver. So I'm going to let you guys do the other 2 questions on your own. Does anybody have any specific questions like that really could not figure out an answer to any of the keys?
Yes, Miss Edson.
Okay.
I think I have a question or 2.
Okay, go ahead, Josh.
So I had a little trouble with like finding the answers to like question 4 and the last slide for the copper key, you know, like the codes for like the question 4, and like I know that the answers, like with the Roman numerals, are crest, but with the codes for the digits, I got 820 blank 1.
Okay. For copper, none of those are right.
Actually, I meant gold.
For gold. Okay, so let's get to gold in a little bit. Let's just look at copper really quick.
All right.
Okay, so for copper, what's the only thing? We'll all answer number 1 together for copper. So what's the only thing that waves can actually transfer? Is it mass, energy, particles, or water?
Energy.
Energy, so G. So we're gonna go to the end. And,
I had trouble with that too.
okay, so what do you notice about the 3 paragraphs that are written?
Some words that might relate to what we're doing have little numbers above them.
They do. What letter did I just say the answer to number 1 was?
The answer to number 1 is G.
G. Okay, so we're looking for a G. And let me just double check. So we're looking for a word that starts with G, and you'll notice that all the words that have the numbers next to them, the first letter is also capitalized. So it's kind of telling you, like, if it's an H, your code is number 1. So for this G, your code is number 2.
I never noticed that. Thank you, because I didn't know that. Thanks for your help. I'll try to keep that in mind as I work on it.
Okay, so I mean, once you have the answers, it should be really easy to go in for the codes. So does anyone else have any questions on copper?
Thank you. I'm just confused just how to find the code.
The Morse code, so that answers my question.
Okay. I mean, if you guys get your answers, you guys are welcome to just log out. You don't have to stay on. But I'm going to continue going for people that are still confused. I'm just going to make sure that you understand how to do each code, okay?
Okay, yeah, my question is answered, so.
Okay. Bye, Chelsea.
Bye, Miss Hudson.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yep.
All right, bye. Okay, so anybody have any other questions about copper?
So, Miss Edson, so that's how you find the code, where you have to find the name?
Yep. For copper,
Okay.
That's how you do it. So each one, it's a little bit different. So I'm going to go through all the codes for you guys.
Thank you.
Right, so we'll move on. All right, so the next one is gold. And gold was a little bit tricky because it was a crossword puzzle. So the first one we're going to click on, and this should have been in the Ducksters, I think, when the one question where it like lists all the different ways that waves behave. Do you guys remember that question in the web quest?
Yes.
Okay. So when it's bending and spreading of waves around an obstacle, and we already kind of went over that one. What's the answer to that?
Is it refraction?
Hold on for 1 second. Sorry.
Fine.
Is it refraction or diffraction? Now I'm confused. Let me open up the. Because refraction is when it bends, but I don't think it doesn't spread around. Can you guys see my screen? The web quest?
I don't know why it's not showing me your faces. It just says Zoom on the conference thing. Zoom.
Oh, you can't see my screen?
No.
Can anybody see my screen?
Yes, I can.
I know I can.
Oh. There might be something at the bottom that you need to go to then.
Press the square in the top right corner.
Are you
Oh,
able
I got it now.
Okay. So can everybody see the web quest?
Yes.
So this is going to be posted tomorrow for you guys. I'm just giving everyone a little bit more time for partial credit. But refraction is when kind of like, if you ever notice in the back of the room where the fish are, if you look at the fish tank at the right angle, it looks like there's two fish, but it's really one, or it looks like its head's really big and the body's small.
Yes.
Pencil in a glass of water, it looks like really fat in the water and like normal and looks kind of broken. So that's what refraction is. It's when it bends, when it goes through a different medium. Diffraction. Oh, this isn't the same picture that I gave you, but it's when it actually goes around an obstacle. So kind of like if I had a boat in the water and there's waves coming, the waves would go around the boat, or sound waves would be another example of that, like going around a corner, right? So the bending and spreading of waves around an obstacle would be diffraction. Nope.
Wait.
It's not letting me type. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we'll notice that with the answer in there. Oh, that's not the right answer. Oh, because I spelled it wrong. Okay, there we go. Now it's spelled right. All right, so diffraction. So up here, you know, we have our normal like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that's in the top left corner of the beginning of the word. But then later on, do you guys notice where the C is? How it's like a yellowish color?
Oh yeah.
And there's a numeral, Roman numeral 1 there. So down here, it gives you the code. So there's no like last page where you're trying to decipher it. As you're typing words in, I'm just going to make up a word, a real word. As I'm typing, oh, that one didn't matter. These are not real, so don't copy them. But as I'm typing them, you guys see how it fills in the bottom?
Yeah.
All right, so that's how you're going to get your final code. So the answer has to be correct in order for you to get it. All right, does anybody have questions on this one? So the only one that's right is the first one, diffraction, the top one. All right, so I'm going to close out the gold cake. Let's look at purple. Okay, this again. So which of the following waves carries the lowest energy? Which one would be the lowest energy of these pictures?
D.
D, yes.
So it would be C.
D. See how D
Oh,
is a little bit longer? So it has less energy. All right, so I'm going to go down to the last page. So for this one, you're going to go around the inner wheel and find D. That's right, the inner, not the outer. And the code answer. Sorry. All right, so it's actually, the answers are capital, so your codes are lowercase. So I was looking the wrong one. So the capital letter, even though it's a C, capital letter D was your answer for number 1. So the code for number 1 would be X.
Okay. Okay.
Does everybody get that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All
Yes,
right,
I do.
move on to red.
Red. When we find the Morse code, where do we put it?
Morse code is just for silver K.
Okay.
All right. I'll go back to that if you are still confused with it, Jamie, in a little bit.
Miss Edson.
Yep.
Do we also send you
Mowing.
the work?
Hold on for 1 second.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
So, what's up, guys?
All right, guys. My husband was, I don't know what he was using, but it was way too loud and I couldn't hear anything. All right, so I'm back. All right, so we have number 1. This is the purple key, right? When light passes from a less dense to a more dense substance, for example, going from air into water, the light is what? So we were just talking about this one. Who remembers the answer?
Reflected? Refracted?
Refracted, right? Reflected is like a mirror, so your image is reflected coming right back. So refracted, which would be C, capital C. All right, so for this one, that was question number 1, right? So here, question 1, the answer was C, which was a TV. So the code is 7.
Oh. Okay.
All right.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody have any other questions about purple?
Wait, is it for purple or for red key that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just saying purple because it looks purple.
Uh-huh.
That could have been red. Was that red?
Yeah.
Red, yeah.
Purple. I have some questions for purple, maybe later, but
I'll go back to purple.
I kind of had trouble with the question, which of the following sound waves would you expect to be the loudest? I'm not sure which one that was.
That looks like number 4. Is that right? Which of the following sound waves would you expect to be the loudest?
I'm not sure what should we use to help us find this, because I'm not sure.
That was one of your questions. It would have to do with amplitude.
Oh.
One would have the biggest amplitude.
Oh. I'm not really sure about that one, so yeah, I just took a guess. I think I guessed P.
Okay, so that one has the highest frequency. It's coming faster, so it would be a very high-pitched noise. But it doesn't have the biggest amplitude. It actually is the smallest amplitude. Remember with the wave web quest, down here. If we're looking at the wave, the amplitude goes from the neutral position, the equilibrium, which is in the middle, up. So which one has the biggest amplitude? That means
S.
the most amount of energy, so it would be the loudest.
S.
S, right. So let's see. So S, capital S is right here. So the answer would be a lowercase I.
So purple key, question 4, answer S.
For question 4, the answer is S. Yeah. And the code is I.
Got it.
Okay. Any other questions on purple?
Nope.
Okay. So now we're on blue. All right, so we'll just do number 1. A substance through which a wave can travel is called, so this was like the 3rd question, I think, in your web quest. Who remembers what the name of it is?
A medium?
A medium, right. Okay, so fourth question. So a medium would be C. And
It's C.
all right, so this is a little bit tricky. So for C, you just have to follow the telephone cord. Let's trace it out with your mouse. And the answer would be 8.
Oh. Okay, so we're following the telephone cord for C.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's for number 1. You again, depending on the other answers, you have to. All the other answers are going to be A, B, or C, or D.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions on the blue key?
Nope.
Blue key, I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Okay. And that's it. So that's all of the keys. So now does anybody have any specific questions that they just thought that they had the right answer to and you're not getting the right answer?
I think I have a question, like, I'm not sure, like, what are the, like, matching digits for, like, the answers to the gold key? I couldn't really understand what the code part of it was.
For the gold key, so remember the gold key was when you type in the correct answer.
I know that the answer is crest, but what's the other part of it?
Oh, that's
The
it.
other part.
The other part, you see down here, Josh, where it's in Roman numerals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
I know that's the only one. That one was a little bit tricky. Your answers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. See in the gold key? So the code that it's already given to you. So that's what you're typing in is correct.
Oh.
Wait, Miss Edson.
Yep.
So for the answers for gold key, you wouldn't do like C. You would put like the numbers, like.
No. Yeah, you do C, not the number.
Oh. Okay.
So you see that I gave you the Roman numeral, the numbers already. I already gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you type it in, you're telling you what letters come up in here, and that's what you're typing in on the Google form.
Wait, so do we need to fill out that whole like puzzle thing that had like the word cross, or, like the crossword?
So you're gonna fill that out. Let me just show you. So when you type in your email and you go to the next slide, the next part, this is where you're gonna put your answers. So for example, Josh kind of just helped everybody by telling you that crest is the answer for the gold key, right?
Oh, okay.
Let's move this over. So when I go here, notice that nothing pops up.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it's correct. If I misspell it and if I do crest instead of crest and I come here, it's telling me that I did something wrong. So that tells me that there's something wrong with my answer there.
So do we just have to type in
So you're typing in all of
the code?
codes that you
If we were talking about, if you were to type in silver key, that should we type in the answers or the numbers?
it would be numbers.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, so it's let's see. So I gave you guys, the first one was 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other ones you have to figure out. But it would be 4 digits.
Miss Edson.
Yeah?
Do we also have to turn in the code sheet or no?
No. That's just for you. If your codes are correct, when you're done with this and it's telling you that everything is right, you will be able to go to next and then submit it. So like I can't go on to next because it's not right.
Okay.
So for one of the answers, if I like for the gold key, instead of putting crest and let's say I said like headband, I don't know, would it say wrong?
Yeah, so see how I don't have crest spelled correctly here?
Yeah.
So when I go to the next key to type something in, it's telling me, sorry, something about your code is not correct.
Oh, okay.
So it'll tell you, so it might be all of your code, it might just be one letter, so you might have to go back and answer again. But basically, once you're done with all of this, I think I made each one like 5 points maybe. Either 5 or 10 points. So it's either a 30 or 60 point assignment that if it's not telling you have something wrong and you're able to submit it, then you get a 100%.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a test that's telling you if you did something wrong, so you get to go back and fix it. Any other questions?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't think you were talking to me.
No, anybody have any questions?
I have a question,
Sure.
but it's not really about, it's about the other like thing that we have to do for the Genius Hour.
Oh yeah.
Do we have to do it on a?
You just cut out, Eve. Say that again.
She's cutting off.
All right, for the Genius Hour, I'm not sure what you were gonna ask, but the easiest way right now to do it would probably put all your information in a like a slideshow, and then just do a screencastify and record yourself talking about each slide. That's the easiest. That is definitely not something that I would have accepted because you guys are so used to slideshows. I really wanted like a trifold with whatever. If you did, some people though did videos already for their for their Genius Hour. So then they're just kind of like putting it all together in like an iMovie or something. Does anybody else have any questions about the Genius Hour?
Is it okay if I put it on a trifold?
You can put it on a trifold and record yourself just like going over the trifold. Most people left their trifold in school. So the few people that do actually have your trifold, you can definitely use your trifold. I'm accepting pretty much any way you want to present it now. So however you want to put your information all together is fine.
Okay.
Anybody have any other questions? Anybody have any other questions about anything at all?
Then I might have another question.
Okay, Josh.
I kind of used the web quest and like the different websites to help me because I was a little confused. Was I allowed to do that?
Yes, you were. I even said you could have your parents help you. You could have your siblings help you. You could call your friends. So you could have used any resource you wanted to get the answer.
Mr. Hudson,
Yes.
so you said that like for like when we're presenting it, how like we had to like memorize it. Do you still want us to do that?
I want you to. You should be making eye contact with the camera.
Okay.
So you shouldn't, especially if you're using like a trifold, you shouldn't have your back turned to me the whole time and just reading from the papers. You should be familiar with what you have. I mean, you could look at your trifold and say, okay, I'm going to talk about this now, so that you, and then turn and talk to the camera about what you have. You should know enough about your Genius Hour that you don't need to read word for word what you have typed up or written up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So even if you're doing a slideshow, you should know what's on each slide where you're not reading the slide. You're just kind of telling you what's on the slide. So doing more of like a summary about the slide rather than reading word for word what's on the slide. All right. Does anybody have any other questions about Genius Hour or the escape room?
I might have another question. I'm not really sure. So I'm not really sure about like some of the questions. If I get some of them wrong, I can just go back to the assignment.
If you get them wrong. Oh, I already closed it. But if you get them wrong when you're in here, when you're answering this, Josh, it'll tell you that it's wrong, and then you can just go back and say like, okay, I got something in copper wrong. So then you go back through copper, try to decipher it, and then you're able to come back down here and try your code again for copper. Did you see that?
I see it. Thank you.
Okay, so once you think you have everything correct, then you're going to try to put it all in. If it tells you that something is wrong about your code in any one of the color keys, then you have access right above it to go back into it and change it. Any other questions? We're all good? How are we doing with this? Now that we all know how to decipher everything, do we think we're okay?
Yeah. I think I'm good.
I thought this was kind of fun,
Good.
but a little
I'm
challenging
trying to
too.
make it a little bit more fun. Next week, you get to build a musical instrument.
Whoa,
How to recreate
that
the
is
material.
amazing.
So hopefully it'll be fun. So if you have things that you're starting to throw away, like recycle or whatever, and you think that it might be a good like bass, like a guitar or something like that, or a drum, you might want to save it. All right, any other questions?
About the Genius Hour.
Yep.
Should I use my phone screencastify? What should I use? What should I use to help create whatever I'm going to present to you?
For you, Josh, what you did, I think Screencastify would probably be the best, and you can put all your information on a Google slide, unless you already used your trifold. So if you haven't done any of the, like if you haven't printed anything or put together anything, because you did kind of more of a personal self I don't know what it's called right now, but because you kind of like tested yourself to see what music is best for you to be able to focus doing school, then you could do like one slide per week and kind of explain what you did, what you listened to, and how it affected your schoolwork.
Good idea.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions?
Mr.
Angel.
I forgot what we're supposed to do for like the Genius Hour.
What are you using for? What was your topic again?
Yeah. Like, vlogs, like,
Angel, you are planning. Can I email you my phone number and you can call me and I'll talk to you about it? Because I can't hear anything you're saying.
okay.
I don't know if you're okay. All right, so I'm going to send you an email. All right, any other questions? We're all good? Okay, so I'm going to end the meeting now then. And again, moving forward, if anybody has questions like this, well, I can always do a Zoom at any time. But hopefully you guys are all good now with the escape room. All right, have a good night. Have a good weekend, guys. Turned in on time. All right, I'm gonna end.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Cutie. That guy's a cutie. Huh, that's what it said to his profile.